I don't know, like when I had this epiphany, but I really just had this epiphany, I don't know, probably in the last 2 months. Um, and I was just thinking back about like my life before it works. And I was really thinking like, what was I doing? Like I had no dreams. Like I had nothing that like, I really like, I mean, obviously like I liked being a mom and stuff, but I just felt like I didn't even know who I was. And there's something on a motivational video that says like, so many people don't even know if they like spending time with themselves because they're so busy getting other people to like them that they don't actually even know who they are. And from like, I don't know if that was me because I've never been really super concerned with what other people think, but I just think that I didn't even ever like really let myself have time alone or let myself like think about and reflect on like where my life was and where I wanted to go, because I think I was always scared of those answers because I didn't know any of those answers. So I never actually took the time to think about it. And so in one of the planners that I have this year, it talks about what you want your word of the year to be. And so I really sat there and I really thought like, what word do I really want to focus on this year? And I was talking to somebody about it and I said, it's funny because my whole life, I guess, I don't know if I've been taught that or just like watching romantic movies or whatever it was that like society has taught us, that like whatever happens, happens. Like I just thought that like whatever happens, happens, whatever is meant to be will be. Like, you hear people say that all the time and I just never, and I kind of was like, oh yeah, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. And I really, especially as a parent too, my word of the year is intentional. Like I want everything that I do to be intentional. Like I don't want to leave anything up to just happen. Like, oh, the people will come into my business. Like, no, I have to go find those people. Like that is up to me. Like it's not just going to happen if I don't do shit. And so like at the end of the day, like for me, being intentional with like every second that I'm parenting, like not just like hushing and pacifying my kids, but like actually being intentional with like what I'm saying to them. Same thing with like my team members, same thing with like that. And I think like being able to be intentional with each moment and each aspect of my life, like even my marriage and even my health and all that stuff. Like I can't really like put a pinpoint on when I really thought that was like a big aha moment for me, but I just know that intentionalness like has been so heavy on my heart that that's like my big moment that like I'm just like, okay, that is what I'm focusing on this whole entire year.
No, I freaking love that. You just inspired me so much. You've grown so much, and I never ever talk to you or Zoom with you, so I love hearing you because you always just light a fire under me.
Oh my gosh, you're crazy.
So you're trying to get like your goal, like when you want to be presidential in May, right?
Mm-hmm. I want to be triple next month, presidential by May, ambassador by December.
Girl, you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, those are my goals. Well, and Brian like always makes fun of me because like we had this like big discussion, and I would be interested to hear your guys' opinion. But last year my goal was to hit 22,000 monthly, and I didn't hit it. And so he's like, well, why wouldn't you make that your goal this year? And I'm like, because I want to reach further. He's like, but you didn't hit that first goal. So why wouldn't you like just make that your goal and then, adjust it from there? And I'm like, because like, and like we have different mindsets. Cause like for me, I'm like, I want to set something that's so hard that like, I know that if I don't bust my ass every day, then like I can't get it. I don't want to set something that I know like, oh, if I just message 25 people every day, then like I could probably hit 22K. Like that's not like me. Like I'm something that's like totally going to push me. And so we were like going back and forth. He's like, no, everybody says you should set realistic goals and realistic timeframes and all this stuff. Every goal research. I'm like, but I'm me. Like, I know who I am. Like, I'm not going to get super discouraged if like, because I know that at the end of the day, if I hit 25K and not 32K, which is my goal this year, then I'm still going to be satisfied because I know how much I've grown. Right. So it's just funny to like talk that out and think how like different people and their different psychologies and like what inspires them and what doesn't. Cause he's like, well, if I was you, I would hate to put something else out there if I knew I didn't hit my first goal.
Isn't this crazy? We're sitting here talking about making $30,000 a month. Like this is what we do for a living. This is crazy. I love it. What were you, I want to hear what you were going to say about Steve Harvey. Were you going to say?
Oh gosh, I could go on and on and on. That's my man, y'all. No. I always take notes with him because I think, one of the big aha things that he said the other day that I read was, there's a reason that your windshield is the size that it is in your car, and that your rear view mirror is the size that it is in your car. And that is because you can't drive your car looking backward. Mm-hmm. And so it's there because sometimes you need to reflect. You need to make sure, you're not making those same mistakes again, but you can't keep dragging that on. And I think that a lot of times, like in this business, I've seen it happen to so many people. They let moments and people quitting define who they want to be in this business, and they let that stuff like become their identity. Like, oh, everybody who joins my team quits. Like, they put these labels on themselves. And for me, like, I hate when people do that. I'm like, you want to label yourself with only positive things. Like, stop saying like, oh, everybody's quitting on my team, or stop saying like, oh, I'm that person that, that enrolls 20 people a month, but nobody's runners. And like, they label that stuff before it already happens. And I think that can really hinder people. And it even happens before people are diamonds. And that's why I think some people get so discouraged, is because they're like, oh yeah, this happened to me. And they identify with somebody who might have like had that same struggle. And then they let them define maybe somebody who's they're quitting. And I do the same thing too. Like, I can put labels on people like before they even act. I'm like, that person might quit. So like, I have to train my thoughts because I know that they can feel that energy. So that was like the big thing that I love that he said earlier was like, and then he said something else, like his goal in life is to let his children's grandchildren, so his great grandchildren, know his name. That's the kind of legacy he wants to leave. So his children's grandchildren want to know his name.
Tired right now. You just are
freaking amen. No, like, I've been waiting to say.
Kelsey, like, I want you to like come to my house every morning and just like,
right. No, you guys, like, I just get so hyped. Like, Brian sometimes like is like, okay, you need like really like a chill pill. Like, sometimes yes. I'll be like, babe, listen to what he said. He's like, Kels, like, I know, like, I heard it. We were listening to the audiobook. I was like, babe, we need to rewind it and hear that again. Mm-hmm. And like, he's like, chill out. But I just love like when people, because not everybody is always surrounded by people who are like that. So if you hear things that inspire you, like, cling to that. Like don't stop feeding off the negativity. That's the easy stuff. Yes. That's the stuff that everybody can cling to. That's the stuff that you can always jump on that bandwagon. But when you can start clinging to the positive stuff, and that's when life's making a huge change.
I love that.
Okay, somebody else talk, because I could talk this whole time.
Yeah, who wants to go next? And really just you can talk about, I think we should all keep each other accountable with our goals. I think we should keep that group chat really active, because those first 2 days, like, I felt like I was learning so much from you guys. So, Savannah, do you want to go? Because you really, I want to hear from you too.
I don't know if she is. I think she walked out of the room.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she walked out.
I can't see everybody.
I know I need some tips. I love voice messaging, but sometimes, do you guys ever feel that it takes people longer to like listen to your voice messages? Because like sometimes they're at work and they like can't like open it up or whatever.
I always, after I send a voice message now, I always say, hey, make sure you listen to that, and I'll like put an arrow to it with a little smile.
Okay, I like that.
I'm always like, hey, make sure you listen to that. So I want to ask you guys, do you think that, like with Instagram and Facebook, because I think my whole first year, my warm market was so big that I didn't even use Instagram. Like, I built to Diamond through Facebook only. So like now, because we've all been in for a long time and our warm market's gone, like, how do you guys like every day like add new prospects to your list? Like, do you guys strictly like, do you love Instagram for a certain reason or Facebook more? I want to hear from you guys and like your different opinions on that.
I know I have one for like Casey, because I know I see her adding a lot of people from Instagram. So I definitely want to know like what she does, because I'm learning that like just how you said, Facebook was how I built up to Diamond. So now it's kind of like, okay, well, why can't I just apply it to Instagram? So I just feel like I'm not getting as much success as I do on Facebook. So I just want to know like what Casey does. Like, how does she?
Who's
Cassie?
Yeah.
Oh, Cassie. I was like, who's
Cassie. Oh, Cassie.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's, honestly, it's fine. Like everybody thinks my name is or Cassandra. Like it's fine. It's not a big deal. Okay, so what's your question?
Like, how do you, because I see you get a lot of people from Instagram. I feel like every time when you introduce someone, it's always from Instagram. So like, what are you doing? Basically.
So really, when I first started, I started working Facebook. Like I worked both. Like I posted on Facebook and Instagram, but I never really like messaged or like interacted on Instagram. I only did it on Facebook. I still added on both platforms. I just really didn't message on Instagram because I did not understand Instagram. Like I didn't know, I knew how to post and that was pretty much it. Like I didn't know like the ins and outs of adding, but I still did it. And I did not know how to message. Like I had the general idea of how it worked, but like I wasn't active in it at all. Pretty much messaged and added and worked the majority of my business through Facebook. Because that was what I was comfortable with and that's what I understood. So I was like, I'm not going to change what I know, what works for me, because that's what works for me. So I think I did that probably up until I hit Diamond. And then, which was like 5 months into the business. So then after I hit, that was when we had an Instagram training with Rachel Jones and Aaron Tweed. And I don't know what it was about that training, but something clicked and I just had an aha moment. And I honestly can't tell you specifically what it was. But
Haley, it's recorded, so you can go back and watch that.
Okay.
Training. It's amazing. It's amazing. And then Cassie and I also have a separate training. It's on my YouTube, I think. And it's messaging like 101. And she'll like go over, like I sent it to one of my girls today and she's like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is changing everything I'm doing. So like just like those two, and you'll spend some time on it. It's probably total, you'll probably spend like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, but like you'll take so many notes because like I know in our YouTube that me and Cassie did, like I made Cassie break down every single thing that she does in her messages, like how a message looks, how that conversation goes. She read some of her messages. So like that's an amazing training to get on. And then also the one that she was just talking about, that's recorded and that goes over just like basic Instagram, like 101 stuff.
Okay.
So I pretty much, I couldn't even honestly pinpoint exactly what was said because I watched it so long ago. But I just was like, I was excited for it for one, because I knew nothing about Instagram. So I was like, I'm freaking making sure I get on this and I'm going to take every note that I can and I'm going to put it to action because it does no good if you get on 50 Zooms a week and then you don't put any of the knowledge that you learned to action. It makes no sense. Like, why did you even get on it if you're not going to use any of the information that you learned, right? So I don't know what it was, but something just clicked and I was like, oh my God. It was like, it made sense. And I was like, this is amazing. So I started really working Instagram, like intentionally adding people, looking at profiles, interacting on people's posts, just like I was doing on Facebook. And now I have a whole different perspective on it because now I look at Facebook and how many times do you go to somebody's page after you've added them or before you interact with them, and you notice that their Facebook is just tons of videos and posts they've shared from other pages. Half the time, they don't even make their own posts anymore, and if they do, it's negative, and it's something religious or political. It's nothing that you can really relate to. It's nothing that you can really interact with or comment on to build a relationship. So I have found now it's almost harder for me to interact with people on Facebook than it is on Instagram because there's nothing to interact with. So me being creepy, the way I interact on Facebook now is I go to their profile of photos, like their photo album, and I go to their recent uploads and I will like pictures like that just like I do on Instagram because there's nothing else for me to interact on. So that's pretty much how I do it on Facebook now, which is totally different than what I did when I started because when I started, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. So I would message people all day long without liking a single thing. Did it work for me? Absolutely, but I don't do that now because I don't believe in that. So now I really have started utilizing Instagram because I just feel like within the next probably 2 years, I feel like Facebook isn't really going to be a thing. I feel like Instagram is really taking off. Instagram, Snapchat, just all the new things they're introducing on Instagram. I just feel like that's going to be like the thing to do. Just kind of like Facebook was. When Facebook first came out, I was like, what the hell is Facebook? Like, I had MySpace, and I thought that was like everything. And now it's like, who knows what Facebook or Zanga was? You know what I mean? Like, I knew I had a Zanga and AIM, and like those don't even exist really anymore. So like now, I just really, once I watched that training and started really being intentional with it, that's pretty much where I do like the sole amount of my messaging. When I'm reaching out to new people, I've started just messaging on Instagram. Now, that doesn't mean I don't message on Facebook, because I do, but majority of what I'm messaging on Facebook are people that reach out to me. It's not people I'm reaching out to. So that's kind of how my whole business has flipped. And now it's really just, Facebook is just utilized for, I mean, I still message people on there, because what I do is when I'm adding on Instagram and I'm interacting with people on Instagram, if most of the time I have found that a lot of the times when I'm messaging people, they don't read my message. And the conversation might take days. And I don't got time for that. So I will literally go stalk Facebook, and I will find their profile on Facebook without even asking them. And I add them, and I immediately send them a message on Facebook. And I'm like, hey girl, I just figured this would be so much easier than Instagram. I did that today with a customer who I've been trying to talk to for 3 days, and she instantly replied to me. So I was like, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. So I always, if I'm messaging them and I've started on Instagram, then I try to click Facebook. And I do that too. Am I echoing?
Mm-hmm.
When's echoing too?
I think
Yeah, you were actually. That was really weird.
Am I better?
Yeah.
Okay. So I have found, like, I love voice messaging. That's like 90% of my conversations, I would say. I start out writing because I don't want to freak people out. But the second they respond to me, it's solely voice messages. Like, I hardly ever write anything. So I try to get them on Facebook, or I try to get their phone number if that conversation turns really serious, and they really are interested, because it's so much easier to get them to reply faster, because Instagram doesn't really send you notifications, and Facebook does, and text messages obviously do. So even if I get their phone number and they don't have an iPhone, I still add them, and I will voice message them on Facebook and say, hey, I just want to send you a voice message on Facebook because I can't send it on their phone, and I want them to hear my voice. So if I can't get them on the phone, that's what I do, because I think that it changes. Ever since I started voice messaging, it's changed everything. So my conversations, like Kelsey said in the messaging training that we were on, like, that's pretty much what I do. And that's all I tell my team, because that's what works for me. That's what I do. I'll never change it. But I mean, I just really started being intentional in Instagram. I think it wasn't that I wasn't, like, I was always posting and adding, but I was never like really seriously sitting down and interacting with people and messaging people. And once I started doing that, like, now I'm getting people who will even message me on Instagram for the first time because they see my posts. And it's because I'm treating it more intentionally, is really the only word, than I was in the beginning. And my posts are obviously way different. I've tried to take a lot of time to learn how to make my page look better. I'm always trying to change things to make it look more appealing and not spammy or, business-like. So I think it's just all in, like, Instagram, I feel like it's just all about people's perspective of how they view your profile. I was private for a really long time. Now I'm public. There's just a lot of things that I've changed by listening to other trainings and putting those things to action and seeing if it works for me. And if it doesn't, I don't do it. And I try something different until I find what works, and then I don't change it, because something's working for me. Why would I change it, right? So really, there's no secret. But if you haven't watched that Instagram training, I highly suggest that you do, because I don't know, I couldn't even tell you. I need to go back and watch it again, because it's been probably over a year since I've seen it. But it seriously, I don't know what it was, but it was just like a light bulb that clicked. And anytime anybody asks me for Instagram help, like, that's what I tag them in on my team, because, like, it seriously, like, I don't know, it just clicked for me. So I would for sure watch that. You can find it probably in the Dream Warriors page. If you just search, like, Rachel Jones Instagram training, because I'm pretty sure she's the one that posted it, or Kyle probably posted it in that one too, in the Dream Warriors page.
Okay. Thank you.
I love that. Thanks for sharing all that. I swear, like, all you guys' different brains, like, it just makes me, like, multiple. Okay. So I guess that's about Instagram. So I feel like I have to always, if I'm not posting like lifestyle posts on Instagram, then I don't have anyone to reach out to. So I have to like set reminders on my phone that I need to make lifestyle posts, because I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I can't, it's hard for me to reach out to people on Instagram. I get uncomfortable messaging a lot for customers. I feel super comfortable messaging for distributors. I'll message people all day long. Yes. I don't know. Like, is that weird? Does anyone else feel like that? I feel like I get all of my loyal customers from Facebook.
Oh, see, I get probably 90% of mine from Instagram.
Oh my gosh. See,
Can you
that's
guys hear me?
Yeah. Like, I planned a lot this month from Instagram.
And I have messages like, you know, in my phone to like message people on Instagram like that, you know, something from Jade Hooper or whatever, but I'm so much more comfortable messaging about the opportunity. Is anyone else like that? Or like, do you guys message all the time?
No, I'm so much more comfortable messaging about the opportunity than about loyal customers.
I think that
I feel equal about both.
Am I making it up in my head?
No.
I think until you do it and you get the response that you want, you're not going to feel comfortable. But that's how you're going to grow, is feeling uncomfortable. So you just have to do it. But you got to try 100 different things, just like I did, until I found what worked for me.
Yeah.
Because I never used to message for customers up until probably, like, no joke, probably until like October of 2016.
Oh my
Like,
God.
I never messaged for customers. I relied solely on posts because I felt like I was selling stuff, and I didn't ever want to feel like I was selling something. So I was like asking tons of people, like, what do you do? Like, I approached Taylor several times. I was like, tell me what you do. Like, what works for you? Because I need to do something different, and I want to try a bunch of different things to see what works for me. So I've tweaked a lot of different things that I've done. But like, Tay, maybe you should give her your tips that you gave me, because I seriously feel like a lot of the stuff you told me has helped me a lot.
Yeah, and Tay signs like at least 20 a month.
Yeah, for real. Like,
That's incredible. I don't know. I just, so I usually I look at the person's profile. So I'm either looking to see, like, if I think they're going to be a good distributor, I'm obviously going to message them about the business first. But if there's someone that kind of sucks at posting or doesn't really look like, I don't know, like they'd be good at this, I always message them about being like a product model for my business. I usually, I just approach it as like, hey girl, I have an opportunity I'd love to share with you. When do you have a moment? And then usually they're like curious as to like what I'm talking about. And then, you know, I just ask them if they've heard of this business. And then I say, you know, would you be interested in being a discount product model? I always say discount product model. That way, when they hear that, you know, they're not thinking automatically like model as in like they're going to get paid to get modeled. And so when I say discount product model, they're like, they ask, you know, what's the product? And then I ask them, you know, would you benefit from weight loss, skincare, hair growth, or more energy? And almost every time they're like, well, yeah, like I want, you know, to lose weight, or yeah, I'd love to have longer hair. So giving them like a few of those options, and then kind of going about it from there. But if I didn't message people and ask them to be product models, I probably wouldn't sign a customer a month. Because I don't just have people like begging out my like inbox, seeing my posts saying, hey, I want to try this product. Like I would never sign a loyal customer if I didn't go out and find them.
So you do it like mainly through Instagram?
100%.
See, and that's the thing. Like, I'm just now getting more and more comfortable with Instagram, because like with now Facebook having a live, that's how I've signed all my loyal customers the past 2 months. Because Facebook Live, because it's so much easier being on there for 5 to 10 minutes and people hearing you talk about fat fighters and greens rather than just trying to put it all in a post about how awesome they are. So
have you tried Instagram Live?
Yeah, but I hate how it disappears right then and there.
Yeah.
I feel like it's not as efficient, and like Facebook, like people get notified I'm live and more. I feel like more of my. But see, and I need to step into Instagram more with customers, because I want to be, because I probably sign 3 or 4 loyals a month, but I know I could be signing 9 to 10 loyals a month if I was trying that. You know,
right?
And I'm just being honest. Like I always sign more distributors than I do customers, but I want to get better at customers.
Yeah.
Like I feel like what she just told you was like a big thing that she told me that helped me, because when I started messaging for customers on Instagram, I had no idea where to start. I was like, okay, first of all, I need to figure out what I want to say. Second of all, when I message on Instagram, I was always messaging for distributors.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, how do you decipher like who's a distributor and who's a customer? But I mean, it's kind of the same thing as when you message for distributors. Like if you feel that connection, you feel like they're going to, you see something, you see some kind of potential in them to be part of the business, then reach out to them about being a distributor. And I'm not saying, go across somebody's page and say, well, that person can't ever be successful in this business. I'm not saying that at all. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, if you think maybe you'd rather than, like, if they have really, like, pretty hair, then reach out to them about hair, skin, and nails. Like, if you just feel, I don't know, it's hard to explain because she couldn't really explain it to me either, but I was like, I don't know, when you do it, like, you just kind of get the vibe that you want to have, and then I'm equally messaging for both at the same time, not just one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of set goals for myself weekly. So like if I've met my distributor goal and I've signed, 2 distributors for that week and that was my goal, then I will strictly just message for loyal customers until I reach my loyal customer goal for that week. So I kind of cater it to focusing on, what I haven't reached yet for that week for my messages.
I'm just so open to try and do so many new things. And like, we do have to get uncomfortable. And to me, that's really been blitzing the past couple months. I stepped out of my comfort zone with that. And I just want to get, like, I see you guys signing this many loyals and I'm like, I can get there. I don't want to sit back and watch other people mass enroll loyals. I want to be that person, and I want to do that more. So thank you for sharing that. I actually am going to inbox you because I just want you to send me like a sample. No, I don't want to copy and paste what you do. I just want to like see a visual thing just one time so I can see what you send.
Yeah, for sure.
Hi. Hold on.
Aw, hi.
My computer is going really slow.
Katie.
Okay. I feel like I just talked so much. Does anyone else want to get on here and like give it to me?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Katie, I shared this with, sorry, my iPad's been acting up and sometimes the sound doesn't work. But so one thing, I shared this with Kelsey, but she's the only one that I've really talked about it because it just started working for me. And it's really working for my team. It's a website and the girl who shared this with me has been on our team for a couple weeks and she actually is a social media, like, quote unquote expert. Like she works other businesses, social medias for her job. That's what she does full time. And so when I was Zooming with her, I told her that Instagram was kind of like my weak spot and that Facebook's always been my thing. And she goes, all right, I'm about to share a tip with you. That's like a $500 tip. Like I would charge people $500 for this. And I'm like, okay, like what is it? And she gave me a website and I've tried all these different websites and I'm like, okay, whatever, I'll try it. And I tried it and it's incredible. All I do right now on Instagram is post on Instagram and my inbox has been full. This app likes stuff for you and it follows and unfollows. It doesn't comment, but it likes, follows, and unfollows. And what you can do is set it up to follow profiles that you want it to mimic. And like people that you're looking for, like you can give it ideas of people you're looking for and you can select hashtags and you can block certain hashtags. So like I've blocked all Instagram people, all Beachbody people, all whatever. So it won't ever follow or interact with those people. It will only interact with like my target person, like this perfect person that I've like kind of selected. That's who it will go towards. And so all I've been doing with Instagram is posting on Instagram. And that way, so on Facebook, what I've been doing, because before when I was successful in the business, it was all through cold messaging and that's what I learned and that's what I was taught and that's what worked for me before. And so I've really struggled this last year to kind of find a new way to do things. And this month, how I've been successful is thanks to that app on Instagram, but then on Facebook, utilizing groups. And so I've joined all these groups and I've been so interactive on these groups and I've built these relationships. And now for the first time like ever, my inbox is full of people who want our products. And so on Facebook, it's thanks to the groups, but this website is called Influx Social. If you guys want to write it down and check it out, you can do a 4-day free trial. It does cost $10 a month, but for me, it's been worth it because all I've had to do on Facebook is post and it'll like, and it'll follow and unfollow for you, and then I can focus on my Facebook, so that's basically working my Instagram for me as far as interacting, and I can focus on Facebook and spend my time on Facebook, but I'm getting the best of both worlds, kind of.
Yeah.
And like I said, for me, that's what's working the most.
What did you say it was?
It's called Influx Social.
Do you know if you can do this if you are public, or I mean, if you're private?
I don't know. That I
Have
don't
y'all
know.
heard
'Cause
of Instagress?
I've heard of it, but I haven't tried it. I've
It's
tried
not
a
an
couple
app.
different.
It's not an app. It's a website, and it's called Instagress, and it literally does the exact same thing.
That's what this is. It's not an app. This is a website too.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's the same thing. But the cool thing is, like, I've heard of all these websites that will like and comment and whatever for you. And, like, I don't want one that comments because that's super generic. But the cool thing about that I thought was cool about this was that you can select and kind of build like your perfect person that you want, your target person, and it will follow those people. And I've gotten so many messages in my inbox, and so has my team. Like, my team just started it 2 days ago, and they've all at least got one message from it, which is crazy. They're freaking out because they've never had success on Instagram. And so it's just, for me, it's just such an awesome tool. And because a lot of my team hasn't had success with Instagram, and I struggled with Instagram for a while. And so this kind of helps you. And, you know, maybe, like I said, maybe not everyone will have as great a success with it, but for me and my team, we've had great success with it. And I think it's such a cool thing, and it's totally worth the $10 because Instagram takes so much time. It takes so much time to interact and like and whatever with those people. And so I've had a lot of people come to me, thankfully, because of that app. So I just wanted to make sure I could share that with you guys because I think it's been a great tool and something that I've been really thankful for, especially this month that was shared with me.
Thank you. See, I love that.
Excited.
It's awesome. So you want to make sure you go through, though, once you create your account, you want to, there's a bunch of different things. Like, you want to make sure you select the accounts that you want to mimic. You want to make sure you whitelist people that you don't want it to unfollow. You want to blacklist people that you don't want it to interact with. You want to block those certain hashtags that you don't want it to follow. And if you guys do decide to do it, know that it goes in cycles. So it'll go in a cycle where it likes, and then it'll go in a cycle where it follows, and it'll go in a cycle where it unfollows. Because everyone I told to do it, and I freaked out about it too, but it'll take your following up to the same as your followers. And I about had a panic attack. I was like having like anxiety, like freaking out, like, oh my gosh, why is it following so many people? But then it goes in cycles. So then it would unfollow and it would go back down to my ratio that I was at before. It just does that so that those people follow you back. So if you guys do the sample and you see that your followers is the same as your following and you're like, what the heck? Like, it'll go back down. It just goes in cycles. So you just have to be patient and kind of wait it out.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I love that.
I don't go that far. Just I want to stick it out.
Hopefully it helps you guys. Like, if anything, it'll interact with other people for
Yeah.
you. Which helps.
I have a random tip. It's like so not related to Instagram, but and it is kind of time consuming, but something that I've done a lot this month is, especially with my new girls, I've offered to do potential distributor calls with them. And my team signed three officially distributors this month from it. And I'm not saying that's because it's me doing it, but I think it shows potentials like that we really do have that team thing that we all talk about so much, that like we really do all want to help each other. And, you know, when those people get started, they've been a lot more likely to reach out for help because they know that they're not expected to know everything from the beginning. And I think it just creates a cool, like, I don't know, cool relationship between like me and my new girls and their new girls, because like if they can't get a hold of their enroller, they know that they can come to me and they're not scared to. And so I've been doing a lot of potential distributor calls with my team this month, and they've been really, really successful. And every time I do them too, my new girls are hearing what that call kind of goes like. And so they're learning how to do them on their own. I know it's like a really simple tip, but it's been really, really helpful this month. Like, I did a couple for one of my new girls, and then today she went and signed a distributor, and she was like, they asked me a question that you'd been asked on a call before, and I literally remember what you said, and I answered the way that you did. Like, I feel like they're just more confident to do calls, number one, but also like their new girls, once they do join, they know that they're going to have that support. And I think that like puts them at ease from the beginning, because they're like, well, what if I don't know how to do this? Like, I don't know how to talk to people about this. And I'm like, well, you would do what Kelsey's doing right now. Like, you have one of us help you out until you figure it out. And so a lot of our new girls have just been, I've noticed this month because of this, the people that have been signing from those calls, like, they're actually doing really well because they're coming to us with a bunch of questions and they're asking, you know, my new girls and I, if we can be on those calls. And it's just created a really cool, like, I just feel very connected with a lot of people on my team, even if I didn't personally enroll them, because I talked to a lot of them. I don't know. It's just been really cool. Like, I've been like so happy this month with like everything going on, because I feel like I know these people, even if it's just from that conversation. Like, I know something about them and they know who I am and I'm looking out for them. And it's been really cool. It's just created a really awesome, like, layered leadership feel to it. So I feel like if that's something that on your team that you need more of, or you don't know how to build, like, I think from the get-go, just establishing that, like, hey, I enrolled this girl and she would be enrolling you, and this is how this all works, and we all work together, and then, you know, your new girls can teach their new girls that. And it just, you know, it's been really cool. So I've loved it. Like, it's been my favorite thing that I've done this month. And it does take up a lot more of my time. And sometimes I've realized that, like, I've thought I've done really well, like, in a week, but really it's my new girls signing people. I've just been on those calls and, like, walked them through signing up, but it wasn't like me signing someone up. So I've had to remind myself that, because I've signed a bunch of customers and distributors that way that month, but it wasn't me signing them. It was like my team signing them. But it's been just awesome. Like, all my new girls are just like so appreciative and so excited about it. And they feel so comfortable being like, I have this call. I have no idea what to say. Can you hop on? And I just tell them, like, give me as much notice as you can. And I'm staying up a lot later, but I've signed 5 distributors this month, which is way better than I have the past 4 months. And my new girls are signing people too. Like, when they start, they're not waiting for a week, 2 weeks. Like, I have a girl that's charted for Ruby now, and 3 of the people on her chart are people that she signed this month. So, and they've all been from calls. So I definitely suggest just offering it. Like, I'm sure a lot of people, especially if they're nervous Nellies, like, they might not want to do it, but I only sign people on the phone. I can count on my hand how many people I've signed that I've never heard their voice. Like, I never sign people without talking to them. So I think that since they know that I signed them over the phone and that it worked for them, they're a lot more likely to do it with their potentials, to call them. And it's like a trickle down effect. So it's been really cool just to see the energy with my new girls and their willingness to ask for help and all of that. So I've been loving doing that. And I let them lead the call. I just say, like, hey, you know, she's brand new and I've been in for a year and a half and we have very different experiences so far. And, like, you know, I'm here to help her. And if you were to join, we'd both be helping you. Can I tell you a little bit about what this can do for you? Because you're both kind of in the same place. And then they feel comfortable joining because they're joining with a newbie too. And, you know, they feel like less alone in it, if that makes sense.
That's so smart. I'm open to that, because I've been doing opportunity Zoom. So every week, or every bi-weekly. So every week, that way I just love people seeing my face and hearing my story and just keeping it under, you know, 15, 20 minutes. So yeah. I love that. I'm going to try the calls, but the Zooms have been working.
Well, and, like, I think so many of my new girls too, like, from months before, I, like, really didn't offer it. Like, I kind of just assumed that they knew that I could help them, but, like, I didn't say it out loud. But, like, I've been telling all my girls when they sign up on the phone, like, after they sign up, I'm like, okay, so what we just did, I can, like, help you with doing that with the potential, you know, team members you find. What we just did, I can get on and do with you, and technically, like, almost for you in the beginning, so that you can hear those calls. And even with the people who don't find their own potentials from the beginning, I've been inviting my new girls to get on calls with me with potentials. And sometimes those potentials are, you know, saying no to me, but it's good for them to hear those conversations and know how to answer those questions. And especially if they're, like, an auditory learner and reading paper doesn't get up there for them. So, like, I can hear people's, like, Kelsey did them in the beginning for me. I listened to a call from Kelsey, and, like, I still say something that she said on that call in my call. And so, like, I just think it creates a really cool vibe with, like, your whole team. And I feel like I love, like, knowing people that are joining my team, like, even if they're not signing with me, like, being able to look out for them and cheer them on, like, it's just been really cool. So,
and, like, one thing I would say too, like the Zooms and the opportunity Zooms are awesome. But it's also different when like they feel like you'll do them a personal favor and jump on like that call with them and only them, instead of having like that set time. And I mean, obviously we're all busy, and like you don't have to cater to every single person on your team, especially if they like putz around all the time and you're just like, I don't want to deal with you. But like, you know, when you do like have that relationship, especially with somebody new, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to this potential. And like a lot of times like, I'll walk my girls through conversations like in the first, you know, week or something. And then I'm saying, okay, let's get them on the phone. And they'll be like, what? And I'll be like, yeah, we have to get them on the phone. I'll be like, but I'm going to be on the phone call with you. And then it's like so much easier because I basically just take over the conversation. And I'm like, oh, and I tell them, I'm like, hey girls, just blame it on me. Say, I was so excited about you. I was telling the girl who I signed up with about you, and she wanted to talk to you. And then it makes the person that's the potential feel important. And then it makes your new distributor feel like they don't have to blame it on, I don't know what I'm doing. So the girl who I signed up with has to lead this call. So you kind of take the pressure off of that girl, the new person, and just say like, yeah, this is, you know, I was just talking to her about you because I was telling her you were, you know, you were interested in joining. And I was just saying, she was like, oh my gosh, that sounds awesome. I feel like I could connect with her. Let's get her on the phone. And she really wanted to talk to you. And then you just say like, hey girl, tell me about yourself. Tell me why you would want to join a business like this. And then all of a sudden they're telling you why they want to join. And then you're like, great. So why aren't you? Like, I mean, you don't say that.
I have a question though. Don't laugh. Do you like do a 3-way call? Like, can you do a 3-way call from an iPhone? I've never done that. So I can have someone else on the phone and then like add someone else to the call.
So basically like, when you call somebody, there's a button that says add call.
Oh my gosh. That's so smart.
How soon do you start doing that?
What do you mean?
Like how soon after a distributor enrolls do you start doing that with them?
I'll say your goal this week is to get 2 people on the phone in your first week.
Oh my God, dude. See, I love Zoom with y'all. I learned so much stuff.
I mean, I just tell them like, I mean, because that's my goal. Like my goal is to get at least 3 people on the phone.
I'm about to challenge my group message.
One thing I did too is like, I'll even say with my new girls, like, why don't you call them first and just say like, hey, like they make it seem like it just happened. They're like, okay, so the girl who got me started like really wants to talk to you. Would you care if I added her to our call real quick? And like, you don't tell them that beforehand, because if you tell them that beforehand, they might be intimidated by it all too. They might be like, whoa. Like, I just want to know what you're doing. I don't need you to bring all these people on the phone. Like if they hear you say like, hey, I'm talking to the girl who got me started with this, and like, she wants to talk to you. Are you cool if I add her to the call? She thinks she'd be really good at this. And then they add me to the call, and I kind of play dumb. I'm like, hey, like, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. Like, just excited about it all. And then I'm like, okay, yeah, tell me a little bit about yourself. Like, and it's just a fun, like, I don't know, it feels like a little girly conversation. Like, you kind of just bounce off each other. And I always ask them to tell me about themselves, because even if my girls told me about them, I act like I know nothing about them. And then that whole conversation changes. Like, they tell me they're a teacher. I'm like, girl, me too. What do you teach? What grade? Oh my God, I can't believe you do that. Like, you know, spawns of Satan at that age. Like, I just have these like conversations with them like normal, and then I talk about it. But I let them know who I am before I just start rambling like a crazy salesperson. Like, I let them know a little bit about me and ask a little bit about them. But they've been they're so fun. Like, I did one tonight and they just like make me so pumped up. I get that. It's like that new blood feeling, you know, when you get new blood on your team. Like, when I have those calls, I get that new blood feeling, whether they join or not. Just like having those types of conversations with people and helping them plant the seeds more. Like, I love it. I offer to do them all the time.
And Katie, like, it's kind of the same theory as like launching somebody else's business, right? It's just nice to have somebody who's been successful with the business validate their choice to do this. And so I think that it also gives them that confidence, because they're like, I just joined, I haven't made any money. You know how everybody has that fear. They're like, I haven't made any money. I'm not a diamond. And like, nobody even knows what the hell a diamond is. So it really doesn't matter, like, potential you're talking to. But just in their mind, they're like, I haven't made any money. How am I going to tell somebody else to join me? So that eases that concern.
Does anyone else, we've almost been on here for an hour. There's a couple of you that haven't talked. Does anyone else want to like say anything or say their goals or something that's
Katie and Sarah, like, I need to hear your voices. Like, I need to hear from you guys. Like, just sorry. Just call you out.
Hello.
I need to hear some tips.
Tips. You guys have like covered everything. Your tips have been amazing. My goals are kind of crazy, but it's happening. My goal is to go triple in February, presidential in March, and ambassador in August. So I got a lot of work to do, and I'm freaking doing it.
Do it.
But yeah.
So what, like, do you sign most people from Instagram or Facebook?
Both. I'd say pretty equal. I work both of them every single day.
So I was just
I
watching.
message on both.
I was watching one of Jade's like brand new training, so it was updated 2 months ago, and she like still says that like she posts hourly on Instagram. Do you guys think that's a lot?
That's like I don't have time for that.
Yeah, like she was like post every hour if you can. I just feel like I don't know. Like when people follow me, like that's like I want to build that trust. I don't want them to like think, I don't know. I feel like I post like 3 times a day on Instagram and that's enough for me. I run out of pictures and I want my whole page to look like I'm trying to be a blogger like Pinterest. You know what I mean?
I love what Taylor always says to like, especially new girls, because I mean, I think when we all got started, we all heard like 3x3 and don't get me wrong. Like, I think that definitely works, but I will say like, and she says it all the time to her team members, I would rather them post like 3 amazing posts a day than 8 shit posts. Like, I'd rather you take your time and even if you can just get 1 or 2 in that are like awesome, I'd rather see that than 15 ads and random stuff that's not meaningful and not thoughtful and not intentional. Like, so I've been working on actually making my posts a lot better and doing a lot less of them. Like I do at least 3 every single day, but I've been doing 3 to 5 instead of I used to do like 7. So.
I don't know. I feel like I post a lot on Instagram, like probably 8 times a day, 7 times a day. Because I feel like with Instagram, you have that like one shot. Like it's not just going to keep like resurfacing on feeds and stuff. So I feel like, you know, I'm comfortable posting that many times on Instagram because of how the feed works. But on Facebook, I only post 3 to 5. But I mean, I tell my girls, you know, post about, I mean, even if you're posting like funny things or like something like not even about the business, if you're getting likes on it, you know, you're going to get people generated to your page. So I always just tell people, you know, post about the things that you like and you love, like 5 things that you like and love, and then just throw a couple It Works posts in there because you want people to just get to your page. Like that's the whole purpose. And so if you're throwing out content that no one likes, like they're not, you know, they're not going to come to your page. So I don't know. Because I just feel like I've had more interactions when I'm posting like other stuff that's not so like business central, but then they're still like seeing my page and then they start seeing my post because they're coming to my page because they liked, you know, whatever I just posted about. Like I posted about not shaving my legs and got like 130 likes, and then people saw my before and after picture and then they messaged me.
Mm-hmm.
But it generated all those likes on that post, and then people clicked on my profile and saw all the other shit I was posting about. So I don't know. I feel like
I love that.
Too much. I don't think.
Different things work for different people, so I love that. I'm definitely going to use everything I learned tonight, and because you know, like we're always just growing and learning, and I just feel like how, to be honest, like do you ever look back and think like how the F did I promote to Diamond? Because like my work ethic, my organization, and my intentions with like my messages like are so different. Like even last year at this time when I was going double, like I didn't even keep track. I didn't even have papers of like follow-up list or nothing. It was just kind of like, okay, I'm going to scroll through my phone and click on PDT. And I'm like, how the heck did I do that? And it's just to think like what we're capable of now because all the knowledge we have, and think where we're going to be in like a year from now, 3 years from now. It's just crazy. Everyone looks really tired. Does anyone else want to say anything? I think Sarah's the only one that didn't talk, and I love everything you say on the group chat. So is there anything you want to share with us, Sarah H?
Hi, I'm actually just getting on my computer here. Hold on, because I want to be able to use my phone. So I'm like on here twice. I was just at a... Whew, sorry. Okay, I was just at a wrap party, so I was like in the car driving. I think I heard most of your tips and they're amazing. You guys are awesome. I'm like so thankful for this group because it's like another place to go. And your tips are all different than like any other tips that I hear. So it's really amazing. I'm thankful for you guys. But my only thing that I've been doing different lately has been to remember, or I guess like rethink how I'm using social media as far as I'm not trying to become Instagram famous. I'm trying to like sign distributors and customers.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been like rethinking kind of how I'm doing that. I spent like an entire day going through my Instagram on my computer and unfollowing everybody that I didn't view as a potential. So I was following like, I don't know, 900 some people, and I brought that down to like half. And I'm only following like 500 some because I'm following only people that I think are potentials. And I'm just sick of liking people's stuff that will never join. And I probably won't want them to join my team because they're not, I just don't really want to interact with them every day type people. And so I'm just like over following people that are A, think that they're too good for this business, B, disgusting people that I think are gross, C, people that like just don't love interacting with other people. They're kind of hermits, or I was following a lot of like, because I'm a homeschooling mom and a foster mom, so I followed a lot of those people, but they're a little bit hermity and they like only like their own world and they're not about like getting out and making money, and that's just not what they're about. So that's fine, but I'm not following them anymore. And so I really just weeded those people out and decided I'm going to use my Instagram for business purposes, and I'm done following people just for the heck of it. So I cut my following in half, and I wrote down every single name as I didn't unfollow them. So if I didn't unfollow them, then I wrote their name down, and I've been messaging them about the business. And I think you were the one who said the message about like, I hope you don't think I'm so weird, but I'm obsessed with your page and your pictures. And every time you post, I just cannot stop thinking how amazing you be. So I'm literally just copying that and pasting that to everybody and crossing them off if they're not interested and moving on. And so that just feels really good because it feels like I'm making ground. Because I cannot tell you, I thought I'd come to people and I would have messaged them before, but there's so many people that I never messaged. And I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, why do I even have an Instagram account if I'm not messaging these people and like trying to get them to join my business? Because they need this business, like I needed this business, and I need to be messaging them. So that's what I've done that's new and that I've really been liking. So it hasn't paid off yet because they're really just cold messages, but I'm at least feeling like I'm making ground with Instagram and actually working it. And Savannah, I heard your tip about that website, and I'm absolutely going to look into that because that sounds incredible. Like, it sounds like an assistant, and I need that in my life.
Yeah, it's great. And the cool thing is that
right now.
you do a 4-day free trial.
Okay.
So it does end up being $10 a month. But for me, you know, I don't know if you guys have done this, but I was boosting posts on my business page on Instagram for $100 and not getting the results I want from it. So for me, I've seen more with the $10 on using the Influx Social than I have on boosting posts from my business page. So try the 4-day trial and see if it works for you. And if it doesn't, then don't keep doing it. But if it does, then I would definitely recommend paying the $10 for it.
Yeah.
Sab, I have a question. So when it asks you for hashtags for growth, did you just select hashtags that like related to you, or did you use ones that were popular? Like, how'd you do that?
No, I didn't do popular. I mean, maybe they're popular, but I did ones for me. So I did like crunchy mom, toddler mom.
Like I just said teacher life.
Yeah, totally. People that you can relate to. Because I mean, those sometimes are you know, or maybe if I wanted nurses or I wanted teachers, then that's, you know, then I would add in those hashtags. I honestly want to go back and spend more time on it because I didn't think that much of it when she shared it with me first. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. It's just another one of these sites. Like, let's try it. And so I kind of half-assed it, to be honest. But some of my team spent like an hour really structuring it, and their inboxes are blowing up from it. So I want to go back and spend more time really targeting and creating with it. When it comes to the locations, I did every single place we're open.
I think that's so awesome. What a cool tip. I love that. I'm definitely going to do it. I was paying $10 a month for my unfollowing app. Like when everything changed, I started having to pay $10 a month for that anyways. So this is like way more than that. And
yeah, you get more for your buck.
Yeah, for sure. I love that. So that was super helpful. You guys are the best.
Love you guys.
Thanks everybody for hopping on here.
Thanks, Katie.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.